Welcome to historic Hinkle Fieldhouse. Before the commencement ceremony begins, we would like to remind you of certain procedures to follow in order to ensure the safety and uninterrupted enjoyment of everyone in the fieldhouse. Please check to make sure all cell phones and other audible devices are turned to the off or silent position. For the comfort of everyone, we remind you that Hinkle Fieldhouse is a smoke-free facility. Please take a moment to notice the fieldhouse exits. Locate at least 2 exits closest to your seat. Some exits may be behind your seat location. In case of an emergency, please walk calmly to an exit and listen for further instructions. The academic procession will start promptly. In preparation for the processional, access to the main arena will be greatly reduced 20 minutes prior to the ceremony start time. Guests are encouraged to visit the restrooms and concessions prior to this time and return to their seats to see the students, faculty, and platform party processional. We ask guests to please remain seated throughout the entire ceremony and until the platform and faculty have recessed. Guests are not permitted on the floor. Guests may take personal photos from their seats. We thank you for your cooperation and congratulations to the students and their families.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Schmeltz, Associate Professor of Pharmacy Practice in the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. As the Chief Faculty Marshal, it is my honor and true privilege to officially proclaim the opening of the Class of 2026 Commencement exercises at Butler University. Graduates, guests, members of our platform party, and faculty, please be seated. Before we continue today's celebration, please join me in thanking Richard Alden Clark, conductor in the Jordan College of the Arts School of Music, and our talented Butler University Symphony Orchestra. Thank you for... Thank you for setting the perfect tone with your beautiful prelude and processional music we've just enjoyed. It truly enhances the spirit of this momentous occasion. Now, I am pleased to introduce a distinguished leader who is integral to Butler's continued success. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Jeff Blade, Chair of the Butler University Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dr. Schmeltz. It is my honor to welcome you to Butler University's commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. I offer my heartfelt congratulations to each member of this graduating class on reaching the significant milestone. Today marks the culmination of your hard work, perseverance, and dedication, and we celebrate all that you have accomplished. As graduates of Butler University, you now join a distinguished community of nearly 50,000 alumni whose lives and work reflect the strength of a Butler education. Butler alumni live and lead in every state across the nation and in more than 70 countries around the world, carrying forward a legacy of excellence, service, and achievement. I now invite the Butler Chorale under the direction of Dr. Eric Stark and the Butler University Symphony Orchestra conducted by Richard Alden Clark to lead us in singing of the national anthem. For those who are able, please rise and remain standing for the national anthem. At the conclusion, you may be seated.
Please welcome Eloise Ayotte, Student Body President and member of the class of 2026 in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, who will offer reflections on behalf of the graduating class.
Good afternoon. It is truly an honor to be speaking before the incredible people who make up the Butler University leadership team, all of our wonderful faculty and staff members, President Danko, Dr. Marbury, Provost Howard, and the Board of Trustees. Thank you to the friends and family who have helped shape this amazing class I'm representing here today. And of course, congratulations to the electric class of 2026. To start us off today, I want to ask something of my fellow graduates and anyone in the audience interested in participating, but mostly my fellow graduates. Bear with me now, because this may feel a bit strange, but for those in the crowd who know me, you'll know this is pretty on brand. I want to ask you all to take a moment to introduce yourself to yourself. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Picture yourself as you are right now, and then mentally shake your own hand. Give a quick hello. Just take a second. Why is this hippie environmental studies major asking me to introduce myself to myself? I'm sure you're wondering, and rightfully so, but stay with me. Because as I reflect on our time at Butler over the next few minutes, I hope this will start to make a little more sense. And thank you for humoring me. Because here's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. When was the last time you actually met the version of yourself sitting here today? Not the version of you that showed up on your first day at Butler, not the version of you that other people see, but this one, the one shaped by everything that's happened in between. At the beginning of this year, I stood on the same stage and I spoke at Convocation. I was welcoming a new class to Butler University, helping them begin their chapter here. And I told them not to wait for permission to be themselves. I told them to be messy and loud and awkward, and more than anything, I told them to be true. And standing here now, I think we can say, we did that. We broke the molds. We shaped this university. And somewhere between orientation week exhaustion and senior year nostalgia, we became the people sitting here today. And the funny thing is, when I try to think about when that change actually happened, I can't point to one big moment. It's quieter than that. It was the late nights in Irwin when you swore you'd leave an hour ago, but you stayed to talk more, laugh more, and crack that one final tough question. It was the conversations that lasted from Atherton to AV with the friends we ran into unexpectedly along the way. It was the moment you spoke up in class with the disclaimer that I may be wrong, but, and said it anyways. At the time, none of it felt revolutionary. None of it felt important enough to be changing you. But as we look back now, it's clear that was exactly what was happening. Because somewhere along the way, we stopped trying to be the perfect versions of ourselves, and we became the real ones. We let go of the idea of being flawless and took on the much harder challenge of being fearless. We were fearless enough to break the deafening silence of a classroom filled with people who clearly did not do the reading that day. Fearless enough to change our majors, maybe even more than once. Fearless enough to build relationships that challenged us, supported us, and changed us. And what I think is most special is that we were fearless enough to outgrow the people we were when we first got here. And that kind of growth isn't necessarily obvious. It doesn't come with recognition, and it doesn't always show up in the places we expect to measure success. Instead, it looks like uncertainty, like changing your mind, like realizing something no longer serves you and choosing a new direction. I had a moment recently where I was talking with some people about why we chose Butler. One of the things that I brought up was how Butler felt like the right distance from home. far enough to be independent, but close enough for a weekend visit here and there. Then I had to laugh a little bit, because while this was 100% true to the version of Eloise from years ago, the version of me today has committed to graduate school in the Netherlands, 4,600 miles from home. Weekend visits were never even a thought. Sorry, Mom and Dad. It just made me pause, because in that very simple moment, I realized that I was not the same person who was excitedly exploring Block Party during my first week at Butler. And I have a feeling a lot of us have had moments like that recently, where something small makes you stop and realize that you have changed, that you are leaving Butler as someone new. And not all of us are leaving here with everything figured out. Some of us have plans, some of us have questions, most of us have both. But every single one of us is leaving here changed, kinder, braver, bolder, more grounded in what we believe and more willing to challenge it. We have built, led, created, and shown up. We have won and lost, but more than anything, we have grown. And we're not done yet. Today is not the day that we've figured everything out. It's not the moment where everything suddenly makes perfect sense. We won't walk across this stage and enter into a reality where everything makes perfect sense. Today is just a moment to pause and sit with all of this. A moment to recognize something that's been happening all along, that we've been becoming people who know themselves a little better, who trust themselves a little more, who are a little less interested in being who they thought they were supposed to be, and a little more committed to being who they actually are. And that matters, because wherever we go next, we don't start over. We start from here, from everything we've learned, experienced, and started to understand about ourselves. Earlier, I asked you to introduce yourself to yourself. And I hope, in that moment, you met someone you're proud of. I hope you met someone who's changed. I hope you met someone who's grown, someone who is still becoming. And I hope years from now, you'll have that moment again. You'll pause, check in, and meet a version of yourself that you don't fully recognize yet, but one that you'll understand. Class of 2026, congratulations, not just for the degrees we will leave here with today, or the memories of the fountains we've jumped in, but for the people you've become, and for the people you will continue becoming. I can't wait to see who we are the next time we introduce ourselves to ourselves. Thank you.
Please enjoy our talented Butler Chorale's performance of The Road Home, with music by Stephen Paulus and text by Michael Dennis Brown. Thank you to Dr. Eric Stark and the Butler University Chorale. We are proud to invite Dr. Mary Gospel, Senior Clinical Faculty in the Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences Department in the College of Communication, to share her insights and encouragement to the graduating class of 2026.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start today with gratitude before I deliver the Dr. Gospel truth. I would first like to thank President Danko and Provost Howard for inviting me to serve as a faculty speaker this afternoon. I'm truly honored to represent the Butler faculty. I also want to thank my wonderful family. My husband and children are here today, and along with my parents, they have supported me every step of the way. I'm deeply grateful. I know each of you has many supporters here today. In American Sign Language, thank you looks like this. Why not join me in thanking a special friend or family member with that sign? Showing gratitude is one way to connect, but sometimes connecting means stepping out a little outside of your comfort zone, like when I try to use current slang in my courses to keep students engaged. About 10 years ago, my daughter even gave me a set of slang flashcards guaranteed to make me hip in mere days. I briefly considered using some of that slang today, but then I remembered President Danko's TikTok video at the start of the school year. After that, I knew I should just stay in my lane. So today you're getting boomer speak. As someone who is retiring, I've been asked, what words of wisdom do you want to leave behind? I'm reminded of a quote I've shared before from Jon Stewart, who said in a commencement address, "The unfortunate yet truly exciting thing about your life is that there is no core curriculum. The entire place is an elective. The paths are infinite and the results uncertain." You have spent years working through the core, the university core, your college core, your major requirements, and eventually you reached your electives, the courses you were finally prepared to choose for yourselves. The core came first, and then came the electives. But let's make it a more personal analogy. Let's talk about your core. Who are you? What's the foundation, the base you've built over the years to guide you as you elect to move forward with your life? You arrived at Butler with a healthy start to that foundation. It's been shaped by your parents, mentors, and experiences. I've had the privilege of watching that foundation grow. Not just intellectually, but personally. I've seen confidence where there was hesitation, curiosity turning into passion, and resilience carrying people farther than talent alone ever could. These qualities are now part of your core, who you are at your center, the foundation. Be proud of who you are, how far you've come, and all the work that's gone into crafting that core you. Now, beyond your core, what will you elect to do with your life? Will you enter the workforce? Will you go to graduate school? Take time to explore? Run a marathon? Become a parent? As Jon Stewart reminds us, the paths are infinite and the results uncertain. You may feel pressure to have everything figured out. Let me reassure you, that is neither realistic nor required. Some of the most meaningful paths are the ones that unfold gradually, with a few unexpected turns, and maybe even a detour that later becomes the best part of the journey. No matter which path you take, I'm suggesting a few core considerations for living your life. First, show up and do the work consistently, even when there are no points attached. Do more than you're asked and be proud of what you produce. Second, be kind, especially when it's not the easiest option. Extend grace to others because you never know what they are carrying. And finally, my personal favorite, don't forget to laugh. At yourself, at life, at the absurdity of things. Humor is not a distraction from seriousness. It's often what makes the serious things bearable. Several of the SLHS majors graduating today have had the privilege of seeing these three considerations lived out firsthand. I direct a clinical program called the Butler Aphasia Community, where individuals with language challenges following a neurological event such as a stroke come to campus each week to strengthen their communication skills. Our students have witnessed their extraordinary work ethic and determination as they strive to regain something most of us take for granted. They have experienced the kindness and grace these individuals extend to one another and to our students. And perhaps most remarkably, they have seen how this community continues to find humor, to laugh, and to enjoy one another's company, even in the face of profound life changes. Let me tell you about someone who embodies this. There's a man in our group, a retired Marine, whose stroke occurred in his early 50s. For the past 12 years, he has shown up to every session, working tirelessly to regain his ability to communicate. But what makes him truly remarkable isn't just his persistence, it's how he shows up for others. When he walks into the room, it truly lights up. He greets every new member, making sure they feel seen and welcomed. He checks in on those who have been absent. He brings kindness, patience, and a steady sense of humor, even though his life has been profoundly changed. His recovery has not been easy, yet he continues to choose to be the kind, caring, and joyful person we all admire. He has inspired more than 200 Butler students over the years. And I can say with confidence, we have learned far more from him than he has ever learned from us. As for me, I can honestly say I have loved this journey with all its unpredictability. Who would have thought that a person with 3 degrees from that football school in Bloomington would be commencing with you today, a bulldog through and through? I step away with deep gratitude. Teaching has never just been about content. It has always been about connection. That is what I will miss most. But I leave knowing the future is in very capable hands, yours. So graduates, go forward with confidence. Trust what you have learned. As John Stewart said, the paths are infinite. Stay open to what you have yet to discover. And remember, your core is something you continue to build throughout your life. Elect to embrace it with everything you've got. Congratulations, class of 2026. You've got so much aura. Period. Clock it.
And now, the 21st president of Butler University, James Danko.
You know, before I get started with my printed remarks, the other evening, Monday night, I was walking home after getting done walking Daisy, and I ran into 3 students in front of my house. You know who you are. You're out there somewhere. And congratulations to those 3. We had a great conversation. They were all done and very excited. And I asked them if they had any advice in terms of what I should say in my remarks. And without missing a beat, they said, just tell us we're the best graduating class in the history of Butler University. So, message delivered. I've kept my promise. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Eloise, Mary, thank you. You each brought to life the essence of a Butler education, what some call the Butler way, something that's experienced and felt more than easily defined. Eloise, your leadership has made a real difference here. We're grateful and we will miss you. And Mary, more than 25 years of contribution that have helped shape Butler. Thank you. Round of applause for these two. And now to our graduates. On behalf of our trustees, faculty, and staff, congratulations. This is a meaningful milestone, one that reflects years of effort, discipline, and persistence. But it's also a moment that belongs to others as well. To your families and friends, the people who supported and encouraged you, let's take a moment to recognize them. You did not get here alone, and that's for sure. Sorry. When you arrived at Butler, the world was already changing. But over your college years, that pace of change has accelerated in ways that are hard to fully grasp. You are the first generation of graduates who have moved through college alongside tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, not as novelties, but as part of your regular lives. You've seen in real time how quickly technology can reshape how we learn, how we work, and how we define knowledge. And in that kind of environment, the questions are changing faster than the answers. So what matters most is not what you know at a single point in time, it's how you think. Your ability to make sense of information, to ask better questions, to understand context, nuance, and consequence. Those are not things you can outsource. They are developed over time, through challenge, through interaction, through experience. And that is, at its core, the value of a college education, certainly the value of a Butler education. Being shaped by a diversity of perspectives, experiences, and people in ways that deepen how you think and how you engage with the world. Yes, you have gained knowledge in your chosen fields, but just as importantly, you have developed a way of thinking. You've learned to listen to perspectives different from your own, to wrestle with ideas that don't come easy, and to work through ambiguity rather than around it. You've been asked not just to perform, but to reflect and to consider the impact of your decisions. Over time, these experiences shape something deeper. They form your judgment, sharpen your discernment, and expand your capacity for empathy. And it is in moments of real challenge that you must begin to understand why that matters. About a year ago, our community experienced something very difficult. As Eloise suggested earlier, there isn't one defining moment where everything becomes clear, and that became very real during that time last year. We lost a student, Sam Fingard, who, like many of you, was on a path toward this moment. In the days that followed, I spent a great deal of time reflecting and talking with students about how they were feeling and coping. And one idea stayed with me. You cannot judge your life based on a single moment. Not a difficult week, not a period of doubt, not a moment when things feel uncertain or overwhelming. Because at this stage of life, you are still in the early chapters of a much longer story. And what you begin to understand over time is that those chapters are made up of moments, some meaningful, some difficult, some joyful, some uncertain. They come and go. In some ways, they are fleeting. Like chapters in a book, they have a beginning and an end. Many of you are starting to feel that right now. You've recognized just how special your time at Butler has been. And in talking to our students, I know many of you wish it would not end. You've told me that. And for the parents and grandparents here today, this moment carries a different kind of meaning because you know something your students are just beginning to understand. You know that some of the most meaningful chapters of life are the ones you may not fully recognize or appreciate why you're in them. Raising a child, watching them grow, guiding them, worrying about them, laughing with them. As a parent myself, I know that it is far and away one of the most complicated, demanding, yet deeply meaningful and most definitely enjoyable periods of life. And then one day they leave, they go to college. And in that moment, there's pride, there's excitement, but there's also the realization that a chapter you cherished is now behind you and that it won't come again in nearly the same way. That's part of the reality of life. Certain chapters, including the very best ones, come to a close. For many of you, you've experienced something similar here. You've built friendships, found your place, maybe even fallen in love. And there's nothing quite like those early experiences, the feeling that life has opened up in new and unexpected ways. But those moments are not the whole story. The story continues. There will be more chapters. Some will be as meaningful. Some will be more challenging than you expect. But over time, they begin to form something that makes sense in a way that isn't always visible in the moment. That's why you must stay with the journey, because it's not any one moment or any one chapter that defines your life. It's the accumulation of all of them. And what you have experienced here at Butler is now part of that story in a permanent way. The education you've received, the relationships you've built, the challenges you've worked through, those are chapters that have shaped you. And you cannot fully see that today, but you will. And over time, I've come to understand something else. You can't judge your life based on a single path. As Dr. Gospel reminded us, the paths ahead are infinite and often uncertain. As I reflect on my own life, just one example of many here at HECO that can be shared today, the path didn't always look logical. I happened to have delayed my college education to start a business. Later in life, I sold it. 17 years later, our family ended up moving around quite a bit in the country for different opportunities. I made decisions without a clear map or guaranteed success. And it's only now, with time and perspective, that I can look back and see that the different paths I took make sense when viewed holistically. What I've come to understand is that life is less about finding the perfect path and more about how you move forward when the path isn't clear. And over time, something else begins to develop. Something that's harder to define, but incredibly important. It's what I would call pattern recognition. You may have experienced this in a much simpler setting. Have you ever been watching a movie or TV show and partway through found yourself thinking, I know how this ends, only to be right? Like in the finale of Heated Rivalry. At a certain point, you knew Ilya was going to Shane's cottage. You can explain that to your parents. I'll explain to the stage party here. And in that moment, you feel a little bit like a genius. Someone turns to you and say, how did you know that? The honest answer is you don't always know exactly how you know. It's not that you've seen that exact show before. It's that over time, you've seen enough stories, enough situations, enough variations of how things unfold, that patterns begin to emerge and you start to recognize them. The same thing happens in life. With experience, you begin to see patterns in people, in decisions, in consequences. You develop a sense, not certainty, but a sense of what might happen next. And that's not something you can rush. It's not something you can download. It's something that develops over time through experience, reflection, and sometimes through getting things wrong. In a world where information is everywhere and answers can be generated instantly, this kind of judgment becomes even more valuable. Because knowing what might happen is one thing. Understanding why it matters and what to do about it is something else. You will be asked to make decisions without complete information. And in those moments, what will matter is not how quickly you respond, but how well you understand what's at stake, who is affected, and what truly matters. That's where judgment comes in. So when you find yourself in moments of uncertainty, and you will, remember this: you cannot judge your life based on a single moment or a single path. Give it time, stay with it. Because success over time looks less like a breakthrough and more like consistency, showing up and doing the work. As you leave Butler, you take with you more than a degree. You take with you a way of thinking, a way of engaging with the world. That is the lasting value of your education here, and it will matter far more than you can fully see today. And when things don't make sense, and there will be times when they don't rush to define your life by that moment. Don't assume you've chosen the wrong path. Give it time. Because the meaning of your life is not found in any single moment or decision. It's found in the way it unfolds. You've left your mark here, and we're proud of you, not just for what you've accomplished, but for how you've gone about it. Congratulations, class of 2026. We look forward with a great deal of confidence to the chapters you will write and what comes next for you. Thank you. At this time, it's my distinct honor to confer Butler's 2026 honorary degrees. In selecting honorary degree recipients, Butler University strives to celebrate individuals whose life and work reflect the university's core values and who have made tremendous accomplishments in the area of scholarship, creativity, and public service, therefore significantly benefiting or enriching a particular group or enhancing our larger society. Today, we celebrate three extraordinary individuals whose impact spans generations, whose service uplifts communities, and whose legacies reflect the very best of what Butler stands for. We honor Tamika Catchings and Marsh Davis with Doctor of Humane Letters, and Sherry Dick on behalf of Raleigh Dick, Doctor of Business Administration. Let's give them a round of applause. To our three distinguished honorees, please remain seated until I invite you forward to accept your honorary degree. Tamika Catchings is a champion in every sense of the word, an athlete whose excellence helped define a generation of basketball, and a leader who has been just as intentional about what comes after the game. A four-time Olympic gold medalist, WNBA champion, and member of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, Tamika built a career grounded in discipline, resilience, and a deep commitment to team. But what distinguishes her even more is how she has chosen to invest that success right here in Indianapolis. Through the Catch the Stars Foundation, she has created opportunities for thousands of young people with a focus on literacy, health, and youth development. Her Tease Me Cafe has become a place of connection and opportunity, creating jobs, fostering mentorship, and bringing people together. And through her partnership with Tarkington Park, she has helped shape spaces where young people can grow, learn, and feel a sense of belonging. Across each of these efforts, there is a consistent through line: showing up, staying engaged, and building something that lasts for others. Tamika, your leadership reflects the very best of this city and of this university. And for our graduates, your example offers a clear challenge. Wherever your path leads, use it not only to achieve, but to create opportunity for others along the way. We are honored to recognize your extraordinary impact today as we present you with the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Ms. Catchings, would you please come forward to accept this honorary degree? Here's the words I was supposed to say as I was doing that, by the way. It's not official until I do this part. On the approval of the Butler University Board of Trustees and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon Tamika Catchings the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities. J. Marshall Marsh Davis is a leader whose work has helped communities across Indiana see possibility in the places around them. A 1980 Butler graduate, Marsh has spent more than 4 decades showing that preservation is not just about protecting what was, but about shaping what comes next. As president of Indiana Landmarks, he led the nation's largest statewide preservation organization, guiding work that has touched communities across the state. Here in Indianapolis and beyond, that impact is easy to see. From the transformation of Busch Stadium into housing, to the restoration of the historic Greyhound bus depot in Evansville, to the revitalization of the former Central Avenue Methodist Episcopal Church into Indiana Landmark Center, his work has helped turn overlooked spaces into places people value again. He also pushed that work further, helping ensure that more stories are preserved and more communities are part of the process through efforts like the Black Heritage Preservation Program and Sacred Places Indiana. Across it all, what stands out is a steady approach to leadership, bringing people together, asking practical questions, and staying committed to work that unfolds over time. Marsh, your leadership reflects a deep commitment to this university and to the communities it serves. And for our graduates, your example is a reminder that meaningful work rarely happens all at once. It is built, step by step, in ways that create opportunities for others. We are honored to award you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Marsh, please come forward to accept this honorary degree. On the approval of the Butler University Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon Marsh Davis the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Raleigh M. Dick was a leader whose impact on this university and this community is difficult to measure, not because of its size, but because so much of it happened quietly. Over the course of a long and distinguished career, Raleigh brought discipline, clarity, and sound judgment to every organization he served. He began his career as an auditor with Coopers & Lybrand in Des Moines, Iowa, later serving as Chief Financial Officer of Conseco and as Vice Chairman and CFO of Haverstick Consulting. He continued his work as consultant and advisor with organizations including MH Equity Investors and Gazelle Tech Ventures. Across each of these roles, his approach was consistent, grounded, thoughtful, and focused on long-term impact. Across central Indiana, his leadership helped strengthen institutions in moments that mattered. He guided organizations like the Indianapolis Civic Theater and the Center for the Performing Arts through periods of transition and growth, often stepping in when something needed steady, thoughtful leadership and a clear path forward. At Butler, Raleigh's impact was both enduring and deeply personal. As a trustee for more than 2 decades, he was a constant presence at meetings, at events, and just as often in the stands at Hinkle Fieldhouse. He chaired committees, mentored students, and quietly supported the university through his time, his counsel, and his generosity. He hosted dinners for small groups of students, took a genuine interest in their futures, and shared his perspective in ways that were direct, thoughtful, and grounded in experience. He believed deeply in the Butler way and in higher education as a pathway to leadership and service. Whether he was advising student investment groups, supporting academic programs, or simply asking a well-timed question in a meeting, his approach was consistent. Listen carefully, think clearly, and focus on what matters most. What stands out is not just what Raleigh accomplished, but how he carried himself, with humility, with discipline, and with a genuine commitment to others. Raleigh, we are grateful for the example you set and for the many ways you strengthen this university and this community. Sherry, we are honored to have you with us today and grateful that you are here to share in this moment. And for our graduates, Raleigh's life offers a clear and compelling and lasting reminder. Wherever your path leads, use it not only to achieve, but to create opportunity for others along the way. We are honored to award Roland Raleigh M. Dick the degree of Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa. Sherry, will you please come forward? On the approval of the Butler University Board of Trustees and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon Roland M. Dick the degree of Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto. I invite the audience one last time to join me in expressing our congratulations and best wishes to our three newest honorary doctorate degree recipients.
At this time, please welcome Dr. Jay Howard, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Greetings and welcome to the very best afternoon on campus. Today we're celebrating the graduating class of 2026, which includes 1,079 undergraduate students and 466 graduate students. Among those graduate students, 86 of you are receiving a second degree from Butler. A hearty congratulations to everyone receiving your degrees today. I would also like to mention that several of our graduates are unable to be here today for commencement because they are traveling for our softball, baseball, and track and field teams. We wish them well both in their competitions and on their graduation today. I was a Butler parent before I became a Butler employee. I was very impressed with the education my daughter Amalia was receiving from the dedicated faculty in the Jordan College of Arts, and from the faculty through the core curriculum and her choice of those elective courses that Dr. Gospel referenced. Amalia's experiences at Butler made me a bit jealous and caused me to want to join the Butler community, which I did when I became the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences in the fall of 2010. Students, I know it's a scary story, but yes, it is possible for your dad to follow you to college. The teacher-scholar mentors you have encountered are experts in their disciplines and care deeply about student learning and students' lives. Students, your experience was carefully curated under the guidance of Butler faculty. Faculty, will you please rise so that we may honor the significant role that you played in our students' educational success. Thank you, faculty. Please be seated. Graduates, the diplomas you are about to receive signify your academic accomplishments under the guidance of these faculty. Across the range of areas of study and types of degrees, your learning and growth were grounded in the liberal arts curriculum, in your major area of study, in deep experiences such as clinical placements, internships, study abroad, service learning, and mentored research. And that is not the end of your learning. You have created the habits of mind that will serve you well for a long life of learning and growing. Even though the high school yearbook well wishes from your classmates might have said things like, "Don't ever change," or "Stay the same," as Eloise noted, you did change during your time at Butler as an undergraduate or graduate student and should continue to do so throughout your life. This is one of the major gifts of higher education. Commencement is a joy to celebrate with you and your loved ones as you begin a new phase in your life. Please know that we're rooting for you and look forward to all that you will do to make the world a better place, just as you have left Butler a better place. Congratulations. We will now present the graduate and undergraduate degrees. Let's welcome the college deans as they introduce their graduates with a statement of pride, celebrating the spirit, dedication, and achievement of the class of 2026. Graduates, when your dean announces you, rise proudly and be recognized. Stay standing as we cheer you on and celebrate all that you've accomplished together. First, Dr. Luann McNulty, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
It is my honor to present the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences class of 2026. In the course, there you go, yep. In the course of your time at Butler, you have engaged in meaningful discourse, accepted and excelled at personal and academic challenges, experienced the rise of AI, and recognized that it is your ability to think critically that prepares you to be a contributing citizen in society. Your critical thinking skills, adaptability, and humanity enriches the world around you.
Dr. Brooke Candle, Dean of the College of Education.
I proudly present the graduates of the Butler University College of Education class of 2026. This class has distinguished itself through a rigorous academic journey grounded in a deep commitment to learning, human development, service to others, enriched by meaningful hands-on experience. They leave prepared to lead, support, and uplift individuals and communities in work that truly matters. Congratulations.
Dr. Craig Caldwell, Dean of the Lacey School of Business.
I am proud to present the graduates of the Lacey School of Business on this, the 10th anniversary of the naming of the college by civic leaders Andre and Julia Lacey. Combining a liberal arts foundation with an immersive business education, these graduates have developed not only business acumen, but judgment, empathy, and deep responsibility for their organizations and communities. Please keep learning with humility, applying your skills with courage, and measuring your success by how many benefit from your leadership.
Dr. Robert Soltis, Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences.
it is my honor to present the graduates of the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. These remarkable women and men have embarked on a path deeply rooted in understanding and caring for people. Each of them is prepared to embrace the responsibility of educating and serving a diverse population and ensuring access to care everyone deserves and is entitled to. They are a true reflection of the next generation of healthcare leaders.
Dr. Lisa Brooks, Dean of the Jordan College of Arts.
Good afternoon. I proudly present the 2026 graduating class of the Jordan College of the Arts. Through their nearly 200 performances and exhibitions this year alone, they personify Pablo Picasso's statement that, and I quote, "The purpose of art is to wash the dust of daily life off our souls." While we applaud them today as they take their final bow on this stage we call Butler, we are reminded that the world desperately needs them to go forth and use that creative, transformational superpower. Congratulations.
Dr. Joseph Valenzano, Dean of the College of Communication.
It is my deep honor to present the 2026 graduates of the Butler University College of Communication. There they are. This is a uniquely special group of storytellers who depart Butler with tales of their experiences that stretch from Indianapolis to Italy, from office spaces and classrooms to cruise ships, thanks PBS, from clinics to studios, and from Fairbanks to foundations. They are friends, colleagues, family, and now Bulldog graduates. For the first time, this group also includes graduates from our Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership degree completer program, individuals who represent the grit, determination, skill, and character of Butler Nation in every possible way. The great stories authored by all of our 2026 CCOM graduates have been compelling so far, but they are just beginning and should be required reading for all future Bulldogs. I know their faculty, staff, and I can't wait to see what their next chapters bring. Congratulations.
All members of the class of 2026, please stand together. Mr. President, the candidates standing before you have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees. They have been recommended by the faculty, approved by the Board of Trustees, and I now present them for the conferral of their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty, the provost, with the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees recommended with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
In keeping with academic tradition and symbolizing that you have now earned your degree, those of you receiving a bachelor's degree may now move your tassel from the right side to the left side of your cap. Please be seated.
The alma mater of a university is often the collegiate national anthem. Throughout the lifetime of a university, faculty, staff, students, alumni, and family join in singing the alma mater within university ceremonies as a symbol of loyalty and pride. Graduates and guests, please enjoy the chorale's performance of the alma mater under the direction of Hannah Guo, who is receiving a Master of Music in Composition and Choral Conducting. Please stand for the singing of the alma mater.
Let us recognize the talented Butler University Chorale under the skilled direction of Eric Stark and the Butler University Symphony Orchestra led by the dedicated Mr. Richard Alden Clark. Their beautiful musical contributions to today's celebration reminds us of the power of music to inspire and enrich our shared experience. Thank you to our captioning services for helping make this event accessible for our guests and graduates. With sincere congratulations and best wishes to the graduated class, I declare the 2026 Butler University Commencement completed. Please remain seated until the platform party, faculty, and then graduates have recessed. Guests will be released after the recessional.
Thank you. Thank you for a great year. And thank Alex for being a